summary video. We're here in Salem. We have a catwalk system to a cantilevered system over there. This is coming from an existing structure that has a video all on its own, but the main concern here, this is a pre-existing non-conforming structure. This catwalk system must be discussed with the city official as to whether or not he wants this elevated 8 inches above grade during the snow so that nobody slips and falls, whether or not he wants rails on both sides, whether this roof is fireproof. If it's made of cement, for example, then a lot of times you don't need to have a catwalk system that is raised, but we need to discuss this issue. This is a pre-existing non-conforming structure, and the city official must involve his decision as to what, at this certification, whether or not he wants any upgrades at this time. So, it's a pre-existing catwalk system that's non-conforming. Now it ends up here on this fire escape right here. We have quite a few issues on here, including some additional catwalk that's a step up that's maybe required here. This trip hazard can't be here. This can be up and over, but this can't be here the way it is right now. It's a trip hazard, so we need to discuss that. But whether or not he wants an elevated 8-inch catwalk system to basically pick up that door, which can be done, it needs to be discussed with the city official, pre-existing non-conforming. On this fire escape, we have several issues. One is this is a cantilevered system, and the first one is, again, can this fire escape be certified? The answer is no, it doesn't pass the confidence test. Second of all, can we proceed to a load test? No, it's got too many issues with the structural, with rust in the connections, and missing cement, and we got quite a few issues. Third, it's got paint issues in that it's got lead all over the fire escape because it's older than 1978, and that means only a licensed renovator can touch this fire escape to scrape it and paint it. Make sure whoever is renovating this or painting this has his renovator license. Okay, back to structural. The code requires that you fix the fire escape, so you can spot repair the fire escape and then provide to the city official a letter that is an opinion certification stating that to the best of your information, knowledge, and belief, the fire escape is in conformity with Mass Building Code. So that's called an opinion certificate. If the city official wants more than that, they sometimes want you to spot repair this fire escape and then load test it, as Mass Building Code 1001.3 states, examine it, test it, or certify it. The last option is to have the fire escape fully refurbished to avoid the load test. And that is 100% of all the fasteners and any all welded connections must be clean of any internal rust, and the fire escape system must be certified to avoid the load test. So those are the three options, again, to be discussed with the owner and to be discussed with the current city official, and the inspector of record here is going to be Tom St. Pierre. First issue we have a release arm here. Release arm here that basically goes down to the cantilever. It's in an open position. The cantilever is in an up position. That means it is not properly balanced. When you release this cantilever and you push this bar away from you, this is supposed to release the cantilever. It's supposed to drop 2 to 3 feet per second, hit the ground, stay down, so people can self-evacuate. Currently, you have to pull it down, so this fire escape is out of balance. The weight box, which I'm going to get you a better shot, is full of dirt, cement, trees, bushes. It's got all kinds of things, and it's rotted out. So that whole weight box needs to be rebuilt. This entire fire escape system has got nothing but rust in all its major connections. It's got all original hardware. It's got welded connections that snap. This is a very good, important piece right here. See, this is a welded repair that happened when in the past, but then as you can see, welds rot from the inside out and they just snap. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why even on welded connections, we're going to have to put a bolt through it. Keep your weld if it's in good order, but the bolt is going to be my guarantee that that weld's not going to snap in its future. But we got a lot of rust in all these connections. So let me go through one step at a time. Grating. The rivet, it's rotting from the inside out, so these need to be reinforced. Treads, they're rotting from the inside out on those spacers, and they need to be reinforced. But major structural, we got huge problems on this fire escape, on the major structural. Look at the amount of rust in here. That's ½ inch, at least. Okay? Look at the welds and the snaps. See, even though somebody welded this, not being held. Look at the major rust here. Never removed, and it's eating the channel and eating the front seat channel. Look at that. All welded repairs. Look at the bulge happening here because of the ice jacking and the rust jacking is deforming the steel. Got it? Look at all that rust in that connection. Okay? Look at all the rust on this structural here. See? Look at all that rust in there. And the bolts are still here. This is all original hardware. Look at all the rust here. Look at these gussets. Nothing but full of rust. The gussets. So this is, you know, look at the rust there. Worse, look at this huge leg to the ground. Look at all the rust inside the leg there to the ground. And it's already deforming at the very top. See? So a lot of these can't be just welded temporarily. These got to be changed, all these bolts out. So as you can see, and it goes to the other side. Look at that. And look at this one. Then it's tied in. Look at that major rust that was never cleaned. It's just eating this channel. Nobody cleaned that out, removed it. Look at that, welded into the corner. Look at the cement, blown out. We got spalling cement. So we got a lot of majors. This fire escape has not ever seen a real major overhaul of any kind in its lifetime. I've seen a lot of emergency repairs, but nothing here that is, I would consider, an actual proper repair on this fire escape here. Okay, so let's go down and see. Look at all the rust that's coming down this fire escape. Okay, if you look at every one of these treads, rust, 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 and I'm talking 1/4 inch to 3/8 on every single one. So there's a life safety issue on this fire escape. I would declare these treads emergency. Look at that. Look at that railing, how it's popped on that side. Okay, this side's even more. The rust is better, bigger. Look at all that rust. Rust. I mean, these things are basically, should you overload this tread, this is probably the worst one. That's almost 1/2 inch or 3/4 right there of rust growing on that tread. When I step on this fire escape, that's when the cantilever starts going down. Okay, so I have to basically come out, as you can see, and I come out 2 or 3 steps in order to make this cantilever go down to the ground. I'm already on my 4th step now, coming down. And by the time I get down to the ground, again, if nobody's behind me, by the time I hit the ground and I let go, this thing's going to come swinging up by itself. But before we get there, let's take a look at this weight box. Look at all that debris. Iron. I've got cement. I've got, what do you call it? The rotting end. So that weight box is ready to fall. Look, the rear end, it's all rotted out. I've got dirt that's accumulated in. So there's a lot of rust jacking. That whole weight box has to be replaced. It's all rusted out. So quite a bit of work here that's needed on this fire escape. Going down, you're going to see some of the issues on the cantilever, in that it has nothing but original hardware on all the fire escape here. And then at the bottom, you're going to start seeing some of the treads that have already given way on the spacers. So, see the spacers here? This is what happens with the spacers. They start giving way, and when they do, they pop. They pop the front, and when this pops off the front, it creates a trip hazard. So all these components, these treads and these gratings are called components. Because we can't fix this inside, the only thing we can do is reinforce it if you want to keep the original treads, or if you want to replace them, that will eliminate this concern by anybody that's going to be certifying this fire escape. Superstructure, as you can see, they're doing some cement work in here, but there's rust at the very bottom, there's rust there at the very top holding that superstructure together, as you can see. So this cantilever is independent of the main structure way back there. But as you can see now, as I step off this fire escape, which I'm doing right now, she wants to come up by herself. I'm going to grab it. There's this rope here that somebody put, and she is going up by herself. See? You got major rust happening right there. So she's accumulating a lot of rust that nobody's ever cleaned out. So that's going to keep eating your steel. You got this weight box that's all rotted and falling apart. See? It's all made out of diamond plate, and they just basically never cleaned it or topped it off. A lot of times these cantilevers have to be topped off with a cap so that it doesn't accumulate snow, water, and dirt, because rust will grow to 5 times its weight. So there's the release arm not properly activated. So this thing does have a release arm, but it's not balanced correctly. So she goes up by herself, and basically if you want to get access, you have to pull this rope down. But there's the start of the tread starting to fall apart, as you can see there. The spacers are one of the major issues on this. Needs a full paint job, and then she does exit to a door that you crash bar out, so that's good. But right now, it's a pre-existing non-conforming. Does this cantilever coming down block any other access? We have to discuss that with the city official as to when this cantilever is in a down position. Is there any concern about this doorway here and what it does? And can people safely get by on either side? Again, not our concern, but we have to discuss that with the city official, who is going to be looking at this certification process as a pre-existing non-conforming, and under the current certification, does he want any upgrades of any kind? Any questions, fire escape engineers? Inspector summary video. Inspector Cisco Meneses here. 866-649-0333, 866-649-0333.